Verse number 12. 12.
Come here. Or I'll come here.
Come on,
Isn't that
my
like
friend.
delusional? Isn't that 12?
Oh, so these mental modifications are. Oh, yes, yes, you're right. These now he writes. He's a good teacher. He writes that these mental modifications can be restrained by what he says, practice and
By practice and non-attachment.
by practice and non-attachment. Now, what did you understand? What are those mental modifications? Those, so you don't understand that. That is what, people can literally translate. Abhyas vairagyabhyam tannirodha. Now I see what are these mental modifications? Any thought that makes you crazy, makes you suffer, gives you pain. First, take care of that part. Anxiety, stress, suffering. Uh, People talk about, PTSD. Obviously, they are it's a part of the mental modifications. But these mental modifications can be categorized 5 subjective states that we have just discussed, 5 objective states. So pick up. If you want to learn, if you want to teach yourself, then learn what makes you crazy, what makes you craving. You have to manage those cravings and those thought patterns. They are the mental modifications. But if you just then you go to a class and you say these mental modifications to be restrained by practice and then they say, Marina, teacher, you seems to be wonderful, but what do you mean by mental modification? Bring down to it a very simpler level. Or do you have anxiety? Do you get wandering thought? Is mind yours wandering? Is your mind is crazy? It's blaming? Huh? Okay, you have a. Do you realize it is a problem? You guys there. That is the first. Now, this verse talks about two set of principles that will help you succeed. First, it says abhyas. Abhyas means practice. Then we will also understand that what it means by practice. And the second, it says tannirodha, no, vairagyabhyam, non-attachment. What do you mean by non-attachment? Okay, I'm talking to you today, and I stop talking to you. Am I non-attached? Come on.
Non-attachment to objective reality.
Non-attachment. First, I have to find out if I don't know my illness, if I don't know what is attachment, how can I move to non-attachment? If you don't tell me your house number, how can I put it into the GPS and can reach your home? You simply say, okay, you come and reach my home. What it means? But where is your address? No, no, you reach my home. So that is how this word, many people use non-attachment. They want to have a high moral ground. I'm non-attached. That doesn't work. I see a lot of people, and a lot of people, I do this. I daily go to worship. How long you have been doing? 30 years. How many times you become angry? 10 times. What is this? Is this non-attachment? What is the non-attachment and what attaches me? What attaches me? That is the first thing to understand. This mind goes through the senses, comes out through the senses. My eyes are looking at you, right? Now think of one thing. Does my eyes attach to Marina? Does my eye attach to both eyes? Not one. Both eyes attached to Michelle? Can I be attached to Marina or Michelle? Eyes are neutral. Both the eyes looks at you, and everyone in the world. So first thing to understand, these sense organs remains detached. They are one-sided windows. Why one-sided windows? These senses cannot look inside. They always look outside. They always look outside. You understand? Now comes the mind. So my eyes are looking at Michelle. My mind is started thinking. Michelle is wonderful. She is beautiful. She is, and a long story. The mind is thinking. It has started self-talking. And then this crazy mind starts paying more attention to Michelle. Because of that self-talking. And then I have an attachment. So who is to blame? Mind. What is the state of the mind is to blame for my attachment? All those 8 states that we have learned. What is non-attachment then? Nothing. Come on. So it means eyes are not to blame. Even if I'm attached to you,
It's not coming from the eyes.
it is not coming from the eyes. And even if you tell me, stop this nonsense, so I don't look at you, but mind is still thinking of you. You know that? That causes the anxiety. That causes the reaction. So non-attachment really means dropping that nature of the mind that is working on you. You have to start working on the mind. Don't blame others. Don't blame sugar is a poison. You know, we start blaming others. How come you are so beautiful, so I'm attached to you? Yeah, I like sweets, that's why I have a craving. Craving frame comes from your crazy mind. Do you understand the psychology point? Non-attachment is dropping that mind that is working on you. Yeah. Yeah. Why the mind is working on you? A very beautiful principle comes from you. As we were born and we started evolving ourselves, the mind started enjoying being a master. But as we grow older, we became a little wiser. Then we realized this mind is working like a master with a fear that if sometime the real master will come, then what will happen to me? That is why I'm attached. I want to secure. I want to be safe. Through attachment, through pleasure seeking, I want to be totally in security. This mind that is working on me like a master wants to secure itself completely, but it can never, because that kind of a security comes along with the fear in my mind. So when I fall in love, I say, I love you, honey, so much. There is an element of fear because you fall in unconsciousness. You fall in love. Many students say, "Sir, we love you." I said, "Okay, very good. I deposit that love in my heart. I'll remind you." So sometimes the people reject me. So they know that if they come back, I will remind them. So what is very important? Non-attachment. Did you understand, Michelle? That non-attachment. So it's all a question that how you make those people understand. Don't tell them though in the beginning. No, because you have a fear, that's why you are attached. They will say, "I'll with you, you don't understand." Because start with the first. So how I should become aware of that fear that is in me that is causing my mind to attach to the others, to the people, to the things, to the money, to the objects. Let the guy be relaxed. Let be comfortable. Let him enjoy yoga nidra. And then once you are relaxed completely, then you move into a right perception. So that is one. But the first two things to be understood that there are two principles: regular practice and dropping that mind which is working on me. It is the mind that brings the attachment. The self is always non-attached. Self is not always non-attached. The self gets non-attached in deep sleep. The self throws away your body, your money, your bank balance, your honey in deep sleep. Self doesn't care you, but the mind cares you. Why? Because of the fear. It wants to control, it wants to remain as a master. You understood? Got it? Okay. Now the Patanjali explains the two. This is yoga. Yoga is not that you control your eyes. No, I'm attached to Marina, so I will not see Marina during the class. Is this non-attachment? People start doing these kind of things. People start doing these kind of things. This is not being a devil's advocate. This is the wrong perception, the wrong approach of the practice. You see that? Don't do that. That's not yoga. So it means I need to be self-aware. That is why I start the practice with the self-awareness. If you are not aware of yourself, forget about it. There is no yoga. Animals can't be aware. Yes, now he explains tatra sthito yatno abhyasaha. The practice is the conscious effort undertaken regularly to attend to that. First thing, I always say, yoga is a journey, it is not a destination. Stretching and sweating is a destination. It is good, it is important. Continue doing it. But don't forget the goal. It is a journey. Because it is a journey, I need to practice it regularly. What it means by regular practice, I have to discipline the mind. I have to educate the mind. I have to evolve the mind. Discipline. You're going to your office at 9. You wake up at 8:30. You hurry up, drive the car, reach the office. Start waking up 15 minutes before. Only 15 minutes. Can't you do that? And in that 15 minutes, do 10 minutes of the practice. That is discipline. Never forget to do the practice before you sleep. If you enjoy gossiping during the lunch hour, replace that with a practice. Choice is yours. Discipline, first word. Then education. You have discipline, you have done the practice, so now you have to educate the mind, assess. You have done the practice, what is the result? No, I don't like the practice. But is the practice good? I have to continue. Mind, you have to like the practice. So when you are pushing consciously that mind, you have to like the practice, now you have started educating. And then evolve. Then you move into the higher consciousness. Then you need not to think of those craziness of the mind, the laziness of the mind, the wandering state of the mind. What we start doing? Wrong practice in yoga. My mind is wondering how to control it. Don't control it. It cannot be controlled. Science and yoga believes in both the same thing. Yoga says this mind can never, the moment it is controlled, it is the death of the body. But what we see, restraint, control, so you get a misconception. You see that point? So that's why you need to read and consult other books. Now, what is required for the practice? Next time you bring that, I have converted that into a question. Do you have this book? It's simply, what is required for the practice to succeed? That is the 14th verse. Understand the 14th verse is the beautiful, that on which the entire practice of yoga is based. Whether you practice asanas, you practice pranayama, you practice meditation, everything is based on this. What it says, the practice becomes firmly grounded when it is done with three factors in the mind. Means discipline and education is there in your mind. What are the three factors? Longer period. What is the longer period? How many years and months you have been going to your school to teach your kids, Michelle?
At this school I am now.
Yeah.
September.
Six.
8 months.
8 months multiplied by 30 days, 240 days. Would you commit to do a simple practice for another 240 days? You will change. You are getting your pay steps twice a month because you are going it regular. You are going it for a longer period. You are getting some incentive dividend in terms of, because you have started teaching, you build up your confidence, and every day you are teaching. Now you have a freedom, a journey to the longer period. People say, oh, I tried, it doesn't work. It will not work on you because your mind is so much crazy. How it can work? No, you think of it. First principle, longer period. Second is continuity. Don't break the continuity without any interruption because of what? Because of laziness, because of frustration. You meditate. No, I don't like this meditation. And my mind was thinking, so this will not work. So one day when you are going to your office and your mind is crazy, my boss is crazy, it doesn't work, I will stop going. Do you stop going? No. You don't stop going. Why? There is a feeling of insecurity in the mind. If I don't have the money, where should I go? But you allow it to be lazy and crazy. It doesn't work. Yoga, it doesn't. The way I breathe every day, the way I sleep every day, the way I eat every day, I have to add practice. You forget as if there is a continuity. You are already doing. It's a part of your life. Do 10 minutes of relaxation. Don't do even my practice, throw it away. Do deep breathing. But do something. I'm not saying, Master is saying. This is not me, I'm just explaining. What this Master explained, can you read that? How he has explained?
Practice becomes firmly grounded when well attended to for a long time without break and in all earnestness.
So, yeah. Just you can understand both. Because of laziness, continuity should not be broken because of laziness. The way my master used to teach, he said, no, contemplate. Why you bring the continuity? What are the reasons? So he used to say it's because of the laziness or you are frustrated. Laziness, crazy state of the mind. Frustration, crazy state of the mind. You see, yoga is constantly reminding you take over the mind or the mind will take over you. So you become crazy one day in a yoga class, hatha yoga class, stretching and sweating. There I see a lot of people, and you say you are excited because you're doing a core strength, you get a sprain. That is another factor. You have to commit to yourself basis. Don't overdo it. Don't underdo it. See how beautiful yoga is a moderation, balancing based on your self-awareness. But if you say, okay, I will show you, that is why we say the journey to the yoga, the practice of yoga is not for demonstration. It is not a gymnastic. It is not a sport. It is a journey to your life. So three aspects. Uh, Now, even add the 15th verse into it. It is explaining what is non-attachment, even the 16th. And up to the 16th we will do, and then we will discuss. What is the true state of inner calm in the poise? Non-attachment, you can translate into a different phrase. What is non-attachment? Inner calm and poise. You're always unattached, detached. You see that? So now it is explaining what is this non-attachment. What is this non-attachment? I'm attached to you guys. No, really, really. I mean it, yeah. So you guys are not serious, what I say. Anyhow, so non-attachment. So understand, non-attachment is the state of inner poise in the calm, inner calm in the poise. Now I have the inner poise in the calm. Do I need to crave for anything when I go to a restaurant to eat? Yeah. Do I need to crave? There is an inner calm in the poise, and that is inner state of the consciousness is maintained. And I see you are driving a beautiful, costly car. Is there any need to be practice non-attachment? Thank you. You have a beautiful car. Let me congratulate you. Let me appreciate the beauty. That the mind is looking through the eyes, but the mind is, you're working on the mind. That's all. It's not become crazy. It's not becoming lazy. It's not blaming. Oh God, you have not given me this car. I went to you at least for the last 20 years. We always go to the gods for just asking when I fail to achieve through my hard work. Then we remember God. When the doctor says, I am sorry, God, come on. I know I have forgotten you, but I always kept you in my mind. Why you're saying? Now doctor said, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. What is this? Yoga says maintain that inner poise and the peace that will serve. You are already non-attached. Just think of it. That is, after the mind drops and loses all the cravings for the objects seen or the heard. My master used to explain me differently. You are attached to sweets. So now see, the first is the sweets object. Intermediate connection, the eyes. Past impression, the memory of those sweets in my tongue. But everything is controlled by the mind inside. Can you disconnect the memory of the taste that is sweet, the object? Let the mind look the sweets as it is without reminding the sweetness. What happens? You remain non-attached. You come to the studio, you remain non-attached to the studio, you never think of owning this studio. Look at it. I can give you hundreds of examples. Maybe you are not attached to me. Oh, this guy will speak after 2.5 hours. We have to go. Non-attached. So it means the mind should become aware where this is ruling over me. It is something, you're driving a car, and if the car drives you, then that is attachment. If the car drives you, you are attached. If you drive the car, you're okay. But when the car drives you, you don't know where you're going to stop. Remember, you don't know where you're going to stop. So think, the sweetness drives you, honey drives you, being single drives you. Come on. Mind is the great cheater. Oh, if I get married, I'll be happy. Mind is driving. Happiness is here and now. Then what happens? Oh, I'm not happy because I'm not married. I'm unhappy because I'm married. Look at the mind. Look. That's why do the physical yoga with awareness of the mind. And I can tell you that it needs a 1 month you can perfect any posture. Don't listen to, at least only for a month. They are good teachers. But those teachers who teaches you stretch, core strength, alignment, you know the posture. Pick up 2 or 3 postures. Difficult. And if you don't progress and perfect in those postures within a couple of weeks, condition, mental awareness, the mind should be totally absorbed. It is the mind which says, no, I can stretch up to this limit. How the mind knows? Come on. Body tells you that, no, this is my limit. No, mind. You understand what I'm saying? Maintain that inner voice. Done. Anything, meditation, asanas, mudras, pranayama. It is a play and a fun. When these practices becomes a play and a fun for you, you are on the right path of yoga. That is yoga. That is tantra. That is mindfulness. You are living into that state of the mind. You need not to. You live in mindfulness. Now you need not to practice. Meditation is never practiced. Don't ask me why I give meditation practices every week, 5 or 6 classes, people. This is what this verse says. And now, how non-attachment is achieved, how conditioned mind is transformed. That is the answer given by Patanjali in the 16th verse, where it says, when you do the regular practice, where is the goal? When you do the regular practice, what are the principles? Discipline, education, and evolution, continuity, longer period. I remember all those, and you do the non-attachment, means inner poise and the calmness is there. Then what happens? What is the result? What is the result? What is written, Marina?
When there's non-thirst for even the food,
Yeah.
uh,
You read my book in detail, but you read it here.
constituent of the
What did you understand? What did you understand?
that's what it was.
Let me know. This guy translated. What did you understand? Read this from this crazy guy's book, 16th verse. I have explained everything. Now I'm giving you the summary, the 16th verse, and we have done up to 16th verse. And after that, then you will discover there are different states of meditation. And then you will catch me. Oh, that is why he teaches this step into these practices. So it says in the 16th verse what it says. You're doing the regular practice. How you're doing the regular practice? Longer period, continuity. What is the third aspect? Yeah. And what is non-attachment? Don't try to make your mind more crazy by holding. No, I will not look at Marina because I'm attached to her. I will not look at the sweets because there is a craving. It will create more craving. Work on the mind. Inner calm in the past. So now you are doing it regularly, regularly, regularly. What is going to happen? So this 16th verse says practical, I'm telling you. What happens? One day you will be totally absorbed into a deeper state of meditation where you realize and awaken to yourself that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ego. Then who am I? You will experience an immense joy and happiness inside. Natural. You need not to think of it. Only the 2 steps of these practices. Then you will also sing like the Shankara sings. Mano buddhirahankara chittaninaham na cha shrotra jibhai na cha ghana netre na cha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Then there is a revelation. You understand. There is a discovery inside. Oh, I'm not the body. I was in ignorance for so many years. Come on. You awaken yourself. I'm not the mind. So whatever the mind says, good, bad, high, low, I'm not the mind. That is done. you, there is a sense of wisdom comes to you. It is because of that these two principles were laid down: regular practice and non-attachment. Non-attachment, not in a negative sense. You don't start fighting with your mind. No, I should be. Sweets are there. No, let me stop it. Let me stop it. Let me stop it. So your mom puts the sweets in the refrigerator, and then you wake up in the midnight to go to the restroom. You remember the sweets. Let me eat it. That is the result of craving. Why there is a craving? Because there is not inner calm. And the boys know. You see, and we try to rationalize this craving for anything, huh? Laying to anything. The mind says you cannot live without it. So find out the relationship, objects, and the location. Now, recently I read this story. I will say a story. That is a big story to me, but with due respect to the scientist, it was a research study. What is that study? It was quite interesting. The research study says that if you go to a new places, new locations, at least it takes you a couple of days to acclimatize your mind to fall into sleep. So when you change the location, your mind is disturbed, you don't get the sleep. They did wonderful research. Appreciate that. We say it is because of those crazy blaming and the states of the mind. This is yoga, this is Tantra, this is mindfulness, this is the way to be happy and live in wisdom.